What is going on, everybody? It's your boy NothingButSkillz, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my AR raid build. Yes, the build that I use in the raid, the one I've been using for a while. I like it because it has a lot of survivability, it has a lot of damage output, and you pretty much can take out anything. And the great thing about this build is you can run it through almost every boss if you don't want to switch your builds between bosses. But I personally do switch my builds back and forth between bosses, but this is my AR build that I like running in the raid. So let's get into it. The first thing you guys are going to notice, I am running the Eagle Bear, and a lot of you are going to say, whoa, you're running the Eagle Bear. Well, I'm going to show you my raid build. If you don't have the Eagle Bear, you can put something like the custom P416. This one right here has 24.2k base damage, and it still hits pretty hard, but if you look, the Eagle Bear is almost 5k higher. So my Eagle Bear is going to be at 30.5k, and if you guys don't know why the Eagle Bear is so good, the talents are right here for you, and you can always check out my other video where I go in depth on the Eagle Bear. But this gun is very impressive. For my secondary, I run a Black Market M60. It has 32.4k base damage, pretty good. The max size is 120, and that's because it has extra on here. Instead of extra, I would rather have a Legger on here to have a higher rate of fire. Of course, it has unhinged, and that's what you should always be looking for on all of your LMGs. I'm running a 3.4 scope that's going to give me 5% damage to elites, a muzzle that's going to give me 5% damage to elites, then we have accuracy and reload speed on here. So if I were to put this one on, I'm going to have if I ever use my LMG throughout the raid, I get 10% more damage to elites versus on my Eagle Bear. But if you look, the Eagle Bear has a higher RPM, the max size is 60, and then I will be able to reload really fast because of tenacity. And then for the pistol, I am running a pistol that it's the specialized pistol for the sharpshooter, since I do run sharpshooter in the raid, and this is going to give me overlapped while holster. You gain 5% weapon handling, and that'll be on the Eagle Bear and the LMG. I'm running 8 offensive, 11 defensive, and then 0 utility. My armor is at 280 almost, health almost at 110, and then skill power at 0. Now I could improve this a little bit with some mods that I have on my other character, but for now I'm not going to switch over those defensive mods because I'm using them on one of my other builds. So let's go on to my mask. For my mask, I'm running a Badger Tough mask. This is going to give me 7% damage to elites. I'm going to get that 9k health. I get 4,600 health on kill, and then I get 45% damage to elites. Now, the reason I do like Badger Tough, whether you're going to run one piece or two pieces, is because you already get that 7% damage to elites. So you don't really have to worry about having hard hitting on here or having a mask that has hard hitting. And then also you can get 2 blue rolls on here and a red roll. So that gets me closer to hitting that 811, right? If we get into the chest I have a 2-piece Fenris I'm running. So I'm going to unlock the 10% AR damage, 10% protection from elites. On the chest, I get that 13.5% weapon damage. And I can't roll a higher weapon damage. I do have some 14.5% weapon damage chests that I bought this week, but I only have enough to roll the 13.5% on here because it does cap out. So my armor is going to be at 25k. My health is going to be at 22k. So that's why this piece does cap out at 13.5 on this chest. I do have unbreakable on here. So we have the 70% max armor is repaired when your armor is depleted. Plus I have hard hitting. That's why I like the Fenris chest, because you get those 2 talents, hard hitting, unbreakable, and then I got 2 blues, a red here, and then I get another defensive mod slot down here that's going to give me armor, total armor, and that total armor, look at it, 5%. So pretty good defensive mod slot right there. If we go down to the holster, we got a Gilligard holster. I am running a 2-piece Gilligard, so we get the 5% total armor, we get the 20% hazard protection, we also get the 10,000 armor on kill, we get the 40k health roll. So that's why you do like the Gilligard, because you can get those 2 blue rolls. You can get something nice like that where the health, you get that armor on kill. But then look, you always get those 2 offensive mod slots. And then I can get 4% AR damage. I can get 1% weapon damage. So that's 5% right there. And then if we go down, I get another 4% AR damage and 1% weapon damage. And then on this one, I had 3% marksman rifle damage too. Now we get to the second piece of Fenris I'm running is the knee pads. The reason I do like the Fenris knee pads is because you get 2 talents. You can have patience after being in cover for 5 seconds. Your armor repairs for 5% every 1 second. And then you also get hard hitting, 10% damage to elites. So that's why I do like running those two right there. If you look, we have the 12% total armor on there, and that's probably one of the better rolls you can get on your knee pads. And then that is all. You will not get a defensive mod slot on here. So if you do want to run, if you do need to run more blues, then you might put something like a Gilligard. But I do like this because I get patience and hard hitting, plus I get that one blue roll. Now for the gloves, I finally got these gloves after, I want to say, about 2 months of looking for them with this roll. We have the climbing gloves. They're going to give me 10% cooldown reduction, but the reason I do like these climbing gloves, the Alps Summit gloves, is they give you one red and then one offensive mod slot. And I finally got one that rolled with AR damage, so I have the 9% assault rifle, so it's only 3% off of max. I rolled hard hitting on there, so I got a 10% damage to elites, and then look, I put another offensive mod slot, so I'm going to get 6% extra damage on my weapon. Now this is probably one of the harder gloves to get. I mean, for me it was. I got one with rifle damage, I got one with pistol damage, I got one with LMG damage, but I never could get the one with AR damage, so then I could roll hard hitting, and I finally got one of those. We go into the backpack. This is one of the backpack pieces that I recently just added to this build, and I actually like it. This is my second piece of Gilligard, so I get that 20% hazard protection. It gives me 2 attributes that are blue, so I get the 9.5% total armor. So it's almost like having Harden. And then I get health on here, which I would rather have an armor roll. And then we get 9% weapon damage because I rolled that on there. But then look at the talents. I do have hard hitting, so I get another 10% damage to elites. And then it has an offensive mod slot and a defensive mod slot. Now it sucks because I'm not taking advantage of skilled, but it's going to be really hard to try to get a Gilligard with hard hitting and vital, and I don't even think that even rolls, and that would be what I would want, like something like this on my 511 where I have vital, hard hitting, or harden, hard hitting. Something like this would be something more realistic that I would want, but you're not going to get that on the Gilligard. And the problem is with the 511s, if you look, they only give you one offensive mod slot, and I need the extra defensive mod slot so I can unlock that 11 defensive. And right here, look, I have another 3% AR damage, 2% weapon damage, 1% damage to armor, and then we have a defensive system mending. We have armor, total armor, protection from elites. So yeah, that is why you need to really pay attention to your offensive and your defensive, because that's how you get these high numbers. That's how you get an Eagle Bear that shows 30.5k base damage. And then let's go into the stats so you can see the full numbers. The full numbers on this, we're pushing 10% crit chance. We get 40% crit damage, not too bad, nothing I'm really looking for. We have the 55% headshot damage. We get 40% stability. We go down. We have 5% weapon handling, but then look at this, 27.5% all weapon damage, 50% assault rifle damage on this build. Now, we keep going down, and then look at that big number, 92% damage to elites. We get a 1% armor damage, and then 29% health damage. With that 92% damage to elites, plus the AR damage bonus of 50%, and then the all weapon damage of 27.5%, that's why this build is pushing almost 31k base damage, and that's my goal. I want to get this Eagle Bear to around 31k. If I could do that, that would be ideally. That would probably push my custom P416 up to almost 26k. So if you don't have an Eagle Bear, that's still pretty good with the custom P416 and then the extra 20 round mag. You can have this at 50 bullets. Definitely something you guys can be working with. And then if you guys aren't gonna run an Eagle Bear or a custom P416, the military AK is pretty good, and that actually has a lot more damage. I think on a build that wasn't hitting this hard was already at around 27. I think I could push that one to like 28, 29 on one of those AKs. So if you don't have a custom P416 and you have a military AK or Eagle Bear, that would be perfect for you guys to put in there instead of running the Eagle Bear. But yeah, this is my go-to build for the skills. I run the chem launcher. I do run a chem launcher mod. If you can find these chem launcher skill power mods, these are auxiliary battery packs. Look, I have no skill power on here, but I can still unlock a heal. Now this heal right here isn't what I want to do. I'm a little bit short on this one, but I do have a chem launcher mod that's at like 1085, and it's all my other builds, so I just have to switch it over, and then I can still unlock this 20.5% here. So let me know what you guys think about this build. This is my go-to build. I run this build usually throughout the whole raid, except for when we need someone to be using the Nemesis. So on like bosses that use the Nemesis, I will throw that on, and that's usually what you'll see on Weasel. But besides that, I really run the Eagle Bearer from start to finish, and then for one boss I do switch to the Nemesis, but I could do that pretty quick. And if you're running this build, what I do is I just throw on the custom P416, and then my secondary is the Nemesis, and then I'll just run that throughout that boss, use the Nemesis the whole time. Then for the rest of the bosses, I'm running the Eagle Bearer build. So I do like switching up my builds, because if not, the braid does get boring for me. So this is my AR build, and then when I'm not running my AR build, I run my LMG build. But yeah, if you guys have any questions on this, let me know in the comment section. I appreciate all your support. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you found this video useful. New to my channel, first time watching a video, why not hit the subscribe button and turn that notification bell on, so when I release a video, you guys get notified. Thank you guys again for all the support, but until the next video, nothing but skills out.